Welcome to Interviewing Hollywood with me, your host, Shahid Manning. We have a world premiere interview today that includes fitness models, prostitution, sexual reassignment, sex, celebrities. It's a recipe for excitement and drama. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Toni Newman, the author of the new book, I Rise, The Transformation of Toni Newman. I Rise is an exciting new book that chronicles Toni's transformation from a world-recognized playgirl model to a high-priced transgendered prostitute, whose clientele included top Hollywood celebrities and producers. What struck me after meeting Toni was her bravery. In the face of many obstacles at the height of her male modeling career, he announced to the modeling world, family and friends, that he needed to become a she. Then, with little or no support, he went from Toni Newman with a Y to Toni Newman with an I. This is an interesting psychology that a lot of people don't understand. People think that this is the fringes, but in actuality, sounds like it's more the norm than anything else, because they got guys and I don't. So I'm thinking I'm on the fringe here. So let's take a
But it never lasts. It's not really a guy.
Okay, so here's
most of them come.
Right, they just come and go.
He came every week and paid hundreds of dollars.
Right.
For 5 years.
Okay.
Paid me.
So
I never saw him for free now.
Right.
But in his mind, we dated.
Right.
And he would call me his
That's
girlfriend.
interesting.
He took me out to eat, and we went to restaurants.
Right.
We hung out. I drove his car. He had too much to drink. We came in and spent the night. But he paid for my time.
Right. So, but what about, okay, so here's the, because the people are paying for this service, and it seems like they like this, right? What about the fulfillment of a real relationship, though?
It's very hard for a tranny.
Okay, so that's where we get hard.
Very difficult.
I see. So it's
easy
more
to
of
get, hard to keep.
Right, it's more
They come and they go.
I see.
New one and they go. You can get a celebrity rapper today and an actor tomorrow.
Okay.
But they may call you again. It may be 6 months before you hear from them. You're never supposed to call them.
Okay.
A lot of them keep it down low.
Okay.
Keep it discreet.
Okay, that's where
I'll call you or email me. Okay. But, you know, this is all on the down.
Good. So I was going to be jealous for a minute. But now
easy
you're
to
right.
Get. You can have that rendezvous with LLCoolJ.
Right.
But you can't keep it.
Right.
He's definitely going to go home to his wife.
Right, right.
And Eddie Murphy.
Oh, wow.
And
while we're on
DJ Mr. C in New York, who's just been outed.
Oh, okay. What does he look like? Is he cute?
No.
Okay, so who
he
else?
loves to be serviced orally and paid well for that.
Okay.
While he drive the hot 97 van around 14.
Oh, all right.
He just got caught, I think, a couple of weeks back with a male tranny in the car.
Right. Okay.
And got arrested.
I have that question for you. What do you think who was in the car with Teddy Pendergrass?
I heard, I don't know.
Okay, let's not say anything.
I heard a film boy.
I
don't know was a wig.
Okay.
Film boy could be just a film.
That's right.
Or it could be put the wig on. It could be
a drag queen. Mentioned that.
A film boy could be drag queen, cross-dresser.
Right.
Now, transgender, they would have said transgender if he had titties and looked more feminine.
Okay.
They call us drag queens and gays while you are transitioning.
I see.
When the police arrest you and you start going titties, then they separate you from men and women, put you in your own cell.
Okay. Gotcha.
Even though they still call you a man, the more you look feminine, the difference you're treated.
Exactly. So Teddy, I just want to be clear.
I heard it was a film boy. I heard.
My favorite.
Yeah, film boy.
Okay, we don't know who it was.
But I heard it was a man. I don't know what type of man.
Okay. All right. So explain the connection to George H.W. Bush, just quickly.
Franklin McNeil, my best friend while I was gay, out of college, he and I pledged Kappa Alpha Psi graduate chapter in Kinston, North Carolina. I am a Crimson and Cream, believe it or not, KA Psi. Unpaying member, but I am. Okay. And he went to work as a White House social aide for George W. Bush. And that's how he so graciously gave me the pic with George W. Bush and Barbara and the president of Russia, I believe, and his wife, and good old Frank as their social aide, standing there greeting the two presidents in 19...
So he gave me that pic.
It was he gave me the pic.
Okay.
To use in my book. And I think at that point he was Captain Franklin McNeil. Now he's a big-time bank executive in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, well, you know, this is what everybody really is tuning in for. So let's get into the meat and potatoes here of, I want to mention Mel Gibson, Eddie Murphy, and Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall I'm not sure about, but Eddie Murphy frequented 14th Street. When he did come,
I've heard about Eddie
Murphy. The flavor was jumping. The girls wanted to get in. I never was asked. I never got in the car, but I can name at least 10 who got into his car. When he picked them up, and he was looking for well-endowed preferably huge.
Wow. So you think he's a bottom too, right?
Well, I don't know why you would look for a big dick unless you wanted to service it.
All right, Eddie, you're fierce, baby. All righty then. I didn't know.
I've never had Eddie, but I've heard more than 50 stories.
I've heard too, but you know,
over
Eddie, we love you.
And
but
he frequented 14th Street when I was a street prostitute.
You know what I'm saying? Wow, Eddie, you go. Oh, you go. I'm just like, wow.
And I understand Arsenio was with him on some of these encounters, but I never saw Arsenio.
I've heard about Arsenio too. I've heard of these things happening in the gay world with them, not with the transsexual. I did hear. All I've heard about Eddie Murphy is
back in the
transsexual.
90s with the transgender.
Yes.
As did LLCoolJ, I would say.
Transgendered.
And then as the time went on, became more comfortable with the straight up male species. Most will start with us, get comfortable with the femininity, and then move on, because the more we transition, the less our penises work.
Right.
We become more feminine, then they cut it off, and then it's like, oh, I'm out.
Right. LLCoolJ, though, I've known something about him. I thought he was just gay. I didn't know he, you know, did the whole step from the transgender.
I was very built during that time, so I wasn't quite transformed.
So he liked.
I was more of a drag queen.
Okay.
With strong legs.
Right. So he likes the boys. I mean,
I would say probably he likes a good body.
Right.
And
now,
I had a wig and looked like a female. I do. I've been with LLCoolJ.
Wow. Okay, so we have to ask some questions. We have to ask some questions about LLCoolJ. Can we?
Yes. Now you're gonna ask me 13 years ago what we did.
No.
And be honest, I can't remember.
No.
What we did.
Is he sexy?
He's a very good looking man.
You liked having sex with him?
I did.
Is he versatile?
I can't remember that.
You can't remember how that is?
I can't remember. I can't remember. He was back in 97, 98. I'm talking 14 years ago. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's one of those things that would burn on my retinas. I would know, even when I'm ancient. And
I've been with a couple of NFL, a couple of basketball players.
Can we name any names?
A couple of lieutenant governors.
Can we name any basketball players?
The one I want to name, I promised I wouldn't, and they have been nice.
What team?
Chicago Bulls.
Right now?
No.
Oh.
Back in the day.
Oh, can I guess?
Back in the day.
It's not Michael Jordan.
I can't remember who it was.
Oh, you can't remember? Okay, so
this is 10 years ago now.
It's okay.
So this is not the current
But you know,
team.
we're still young.
Okay.
Honey, I understand. We can remember.
Okay.
Who can you mention? Football player?
I can't say him either.
You can't say. What
No.
team? What team was he on?
Cincinnati Bengals.
What position did he play?
2003.
What position did he play?
I say top 5 on that team.
Oh.
And black.
Oh. So, okay, you can remember 2003, right? So, girl, just smack me if you want to, you know. Okay, he was hot.
And I fucked him. And he sucked my dick, I sucked his dick, and he fucked me.
Did he have a girlfriend?
He was engaged, I believe, at the time. I think now he has 2 kids and married. And
you know how hot and erotic and
most
wild
of the men
that
I've
is
been with,
time.
most of the men that I've been with are now, who were single, are now married and have kids.
Wow.
I think LLCoolJ got married in 96, 95. So he had just been married.
So,
and during that time, it's just not me. I understand in the 90s he was sexually explosive. And he had been married a couple of years.
Anybody else who you've been with directly that we want to hear about?
Not really. A couple of ambassadors and House of Reps, but I mean, you wouldn't even know their names today.
Wow.
So no.
I keep going back and forth.
Been with the governor of North Carolina.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Been with the governor of North Carolina 9 years ago.
Governor of North Carolina 9 years ago.
2 bodyguards come to the door.
That is wild. This is book.
Or lieutenant governor, I'm not sure.
Yeah?
Governor or lieutenant governor.
Okay.
Or maybe it was the Secretary of State. I'm not sure.
Maybe it was all 3 of them, girl.
Oh, he was one.
Okay.
He was one of them.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to...
Most of the men I see are basically straight heterosexual men, or have seen, and my transgender, black, white, Latino sisters see.
Right.
These are not men who perceive themselves as gay.
Yeah,
they enjoy
that's a
feminine
good point.
qualities with male genitalia.
Wow. I just thought...
And it is...
Wow. That is fascinating.
It's almost a perversion because they love it so much, and they're always seeking new ones.
Do you feel used? I mean, do you feel...
I got paid, so I can't feel used.
I mean, you're being who you want to be, so it's not, you know...
And I got paid to be, which is most of how my black transgender sisters make their living, which I'm trying to show. We won't educate. Okay, you can do something else besides whore and sell.
Okay, so we only have a few more minutes, and I want to get into... Thank you for sharing all of that. That was fantastic. People are going to be like, that was excellent information. I was reading the book though, and I love the reason why. You seem to do everything for a reason. I love the reason why you decided to go to law school. Instead of me saying it, why did you decide to go? There was a reason why. There was something that happened in your life.
I've been arrested 2 or 3 times, particularly in Las Vegas. White cop who wanted to see me, whatever, came in on the last night in Vegas. I'm running an ad in my hotel room and had seen several of his buddies, me and my female buddy, came and arrested us, and just. We missed our flight the next morning and just held me up for a couple of hours over bullshit. And I fought it and we won. We got all our money back and our equipment back. But it's just the way they treat us.
Right.
You know, he wanted sexual stuff.
Right.
And I didn't do it.
Right.
And then he used his badge to come at me in the form of prostitution in my own hotel room.
Right.
Of guys who are calling to see me and pay me. And it bothers me. Because legally, there's no one to go to but the public defender who gives nothing about you.
Okay.
They don't care.
Okay, so we have to wrap up. But in short, though, you saw that there was a reason to do
legal
this.
System and transgenderism
that's right.
is a hard road.
And you wanted
even
to fill
lower than
that
gays.
gap. Okay.
Wow. So I want to go and have a resource and work for the Transgender Law Association and organization.
Right.
So give my black sisters and my Latino sisters the brown instead of the white transgender lawyer.
Okay.
To say, I've been with you. I've done what you've done.
Right. Right.
You and I look alike.
Tony,
I can help you.
That's just phenomenal. I love
I'm not in law school
fantastic.
now. I'm still needing money.
Yeah.
Donations received.
Oh, donations received and everything?
Abraham Lincoln Law School. You can make the check out to Abraham Lincoln Law School.
Well, Toni, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Being a keynote, wonderful,
thank you,
wonderful
love.
Interviewee and giving us all this juicy, wonderful.
You'll get a lover
information.
quicker as a gay man than a transgender.
Okay, well, I'm looking for love, so that's
you
fair
want
enough,
love,
right?
real love.
Okay,
with someone true to themselves.
You're right.
The men we see are not true.
Okay, so no wigs, no pumps, but still, the sex life. It doesn't sound like you can beat it. Yeah, it sounds hot, like hot. You know. Okay, all right. Thank you, Toni, so much. Wow.
Thank you.
So everyone, buy the book, I Rise, The Transformation of Toni Newman. It'll be available in mid-April on Amazon.com. And thank you for watching this special series of episodes of Interviewing Hollywood with me, your host, Shahid Manning, and author Toni Newman. Remember, whether you are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, or queer, female, black, white, or anyone, in the words of Maya Angelou, you are the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Thank you.